Okay, everyone, so we are now on our part 4, day 4 of our purple packet. Remember, I had us leave off doing these problems on our own, so we are now starting on the next page. I'm going to do a couple of these together, and then I'm going to suggest that you do the rest by yourself and check your answers with the key. But before I forget, I will write it big here. I did post a negative number rules review on your Google Classroom under materials. Okay, it is under materials. So if you forget what a positive plus a positive is, that's a positive. Negative plus a positive, it depends. All that kind of stuff is all under this section. Okay, so if you weren't confident on those, please make sure you review them. All right, so looking at our first problem here, we have x over 4 plus 10 is equal to 1. So remember that x over 4, that's our variable term, so we want to keep those things together, and we want to move our plus 10 to the right side. So we are adding 10, so to do the opposite of that, to move it over, we're going to subtract 10, and we are left with x over 4 is equal to 1 minus 10, which again is negative 9. Again, make sure you review those negative rules if you forget. So now we just have a regular one-step equation. So to undo dividing by 4, we're going to multiply by 4 on both sides, and we are left with x on the left, and negative 9 times 4 is negative 36. Again, remember, a negative times a positive results in a negative number. All right, so moving on to number 2. We have 0.7t minus 3.2 is equal to 1.7. So again, that 0.7t, that's your, they must stay together, your variable term. So to undo subtracting 3.2, we want to add 3.2 to both sides. And we're left with 0.7t here on our left. And 1.7 plus 3.2, line that up, we get 4.9. So once you go ahead and get to this part, to get t by itself, all we have to do now is to divide by 0.7 on both sides. And again, we should get, let's see here, I don't know that off the top of my head, 4.9 divided by 0.7, we get 7. Oh, I should have been able to figure that out. Oops, that's okay. All right. And again, if you need a calculator for these ones, that's okay, but only for the dividing and multiplying. I really think you should be able to do this with your adding and subtracting at this point. So we are now on number 3. And again, we have 10 minus 5m is equal to 45. So we want to get that minus 5m. That's going to be in our heart again, because that's what can't be separate. And again, we're technically doing, before I write this line, we're technically doing 10 plus that negative 5m is equal to 45. So to get that 10 on the other side, remember, we're technically adding it, so to undo that, we're going to subtract it. So now we're left with negative 5m is equal to 45 minus 10, so we get 35. And if we divide both sides by that negative 5, we should get m by itself is equal to 35 divided by negative 5 is going to result in negative 7. All right, we'll do 2 more here together. So number 4, we have 3x plus 9 is equal to 27. So again, if I go ahead and draw my line in, my 3x is my variable term that I want to keep together. So to undo adding 9 to that, I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides, and I get 3x is equal to 18. And then again, we have our one-step part now, so we're going to divide both sides here by 3. And we should get x is equal to 6. All right, so one more here before I move on. We have negative 5.6 equals h over 5 plus 12.2. So again, oops, draw in your line here. Our h over 5 is our variable term that we want to keep together. So to undo adding that 12.2, we are going to subtract 12.2 to both sides. Now remember, whenever you have a negative minus a negative, just add your numbers together regularly and stick on that negative sign. So we have negative 5.6 minus 12.2. If we add those together, we get 17.8. Again, make sure you have that negative sign. That's important. And we have that is now equal to h over 5. So again, to get rid of our dividing by 5, we're going to multiply both sides by 5. Multiply both sides by 5. And we should get, over here is negative 89. Again, if you use your calculator for that, I'm okay with that. But we get negative 89 is equal to h. So I want you guys now to do 6, 7, 8, and 9 on your own. And then I'm going to do just 2 problems of these boxed ones on the next page. So you're going to do those on your own. And then those that you have, like if we found letter O, box O, for example, had the answer of 10, you're going to put your O there and so on. So you guys go ahead and see if you can fill out that key at the bottom here. So we'll do just a few of these. For box O, we have 4y minus 9. These should be a little bit easier than the ones you have up top, okay? But again, we have our 4y, has to stay together. How do we undo subtracting 9? We're going to add it. So we get 4y is equal to 24. And then again, we want that y by itself, so we're going to undo multiplying it by 4 by dividing, and we should get y equal to 6. So again, back down here, that was box O, was the answer of 6. So we should definitely have an O here, and I think that's the only O. Yes, that is the only O here. Okay? All right, then for box A, we have 6x plus 7 is equal to negative 5. Again, our 6x, put that heart around them. Now we want to undo adding that 7, so we're going to subtract 7. And we get 6x is equal to negative 5 minus 7, which is negative 12. Then again, we want to make sure that x gets by itself, so how do we undo that? We divide by 6, and we should get x is equal to negative 2. And remember, to check, we could say, is negative 2 times 6 negative 12? Yes, it is. Okay. So again, we got box A was negative 2. So scrolling back down here, negative 2. Here is where an A should go, and also here in the middle. All right, so I'm going to stop the video here for your part 4 and be back with part 5 next.